Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of NCLEX Review Question. Today's question focuses on roles and creating assignments. So selecting who gets what assignment and what patient. So when we take a look at this assignment here, when creating an assignment for a team consisting of a registered nurse, a licensed practical nurse, and 2 unlicensed assistive personnel, which is the best client for the LPN? A client requiring frequent temperature checks, a client requiring assistance with ambulation every 4 hours, a client on a mechanical ventilator requiring frequent assessment and suctioning, or a client with spinal cord injury requiring urinary catheterization every 6 hours. So go ahead, pause your video per usual, and select which one you think is the correct answer, and we'll go through those in a second. So when we look at these 4 options, we have to break down and figure out what scope each one falls within, okay? So let's start with the first client. This client requires frequent temperature checks. An RN can do that, an LPN can do that, and your UAP or CNA can do that as well. So for this one, I would say that would go to the assistant to take those vital signs, okay? And then if there's something abnormal with those, they can report it back to the nurse. Number 2, a client requiring assistance with ambulation every 4 hours. Again, this is something that the assistive personnel can do. They're allowed to get patients up, move them about within their room, reposition patients. So again, this would fall on that assistive personnel. Number 3, a client on a mechanical ventilator requiring frequent assessment and suctioning. LPNs can do suctioning, right? You guys all did your trach care and checked off on that. The key one in this is that frequent assessment. So when you look at the scope of practice between a registered nurse and a licensed practical nurse, the assessment piece has to come from the registered nurse. Licensed practical nurses can do data collection, but they cannot do the assessments. So this would fall to the registered nurse. The 4th one, a client with a spinal cord injury requiring urinary catheterization every 6 hours. This one is the best one for the LPN because the LPN is capable of doing those urinary catheterizations. And if something goes wrong and it needs further assessment, they can go and get the registered nurse, but they are perfectly capable of putting in that catheterization every 6 hours. So that is your question for this week. If you guys have any questions about NCLEX breaking questions down, just let me know. Thanks. Take care.